That's why I came up with the no theme, only responses. The artworks are my response. And I seek your response towards the composition.
Right.
And I was literally blown away. And I was 5 years old. I knew at that point of time what I have to do. This is not exactly how I have imagined it to be. My response towards the composition, this is not what it is. So I will create a digital artwork that will be how I have imagined it to be.
Hi, this is Tej Veer. I'm the community manager of the 1000 Faces Club, and I welcome you to the Fireside Chats, where we bring to you your favorite creators and we try to open up their playbooks and try to understand their processes. Please enjoy this episode. Our today's guest is a visual artist who predominantly works with photography, graphic art, and digital collages. His artworks have been exhibited at Saatchi Screen Project, Saatchi Gallery, London. He's a multi-award winning photographer who has garnered accolades across the world. Let's welcome the founder of Studio Tej Veer to the Fireside Chats. Welcome, Tej. How are you doing?
Hi, Shubham. I am just doing all right. What about you?
Absolutely thrilled to host this session with you. So, Tej, for the benefit of our audience who may not be aware of your work, please tell us more about yourself as well as Studio Tej Veer, first of all.
Yeah, this is this is the small space. I call it basically my studio, but basically the place where I tend to churn out ideas and work.
Right.
So it's like that. For the people who don't know me, my name is Tej Veer Singh, and I am basically a photographer by profession, and side by side I do digital artworks as well. So I am very new to this digital art field. Yeah, I'm exploring it. Also, I am an architect as well.
Right.
That's the basic story.
So how did you get started as a digital artist? And what do you mean? I mean, what does your art stand for?
Honestly, how to get started is basically you have to start on your own. There is no support courses in India as of now for digital artists, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So it's just what drives you, what kind of curiosity drives you.
Right.
So if it comes to me, when it comes to my case, I was very much intrigued or influenced by the special effects in the movies that we see.
Right.
Yeah, especially when I still remember like in '93, first time I went to see Jurassic Park, I guess.
Right.
And I was literally blown away, and I was 5 years old at that point of time. And that had so much impact on me that I knew at that point of time what I have to do.
Nice.
I had to do something related to art. However,
Right.
I was not much influenced. I had not much exposure was there.
Yeah.
But I somehow knew that this is the field that I want to get into.
Right.
So yeah, this is what I've been trying to achieve since then, trying to make my own way through. But yeah, there has been like sort of a bit of different situations and how you go through them and all that. That is a whole different story.
So Tej, before you answer the second part of the question, which is like, what does your art mean to you now? I would, ask, I'm moving away from India. Your, work has been exhibited in, West predominantly. And you have been in, very prestigious art galleries, shown, a part of, let's say, India, which is not very known to us Indians in the first place. So tell us about, the support and, what kind of infrastructure is out there in the Western countries.
See, when it comes to the support of the Western, as far as I see, the Western culture influences us all over the world. Right now, it is dominating in fields of entertainment and culture. It is very much dominated. We being in the Indian scenario, we are trying to compete with the Western culture. We are right now trying to be there.
Yeah.
So the infrastructure, something that we have right now, they already had it approximately 1977, 1966.
Wow.
So they have been evolving that kind of infrastructure since then. So obviously there are a lot of different things that you can do with digital art over there because the means is very different. Yeah, the applications are very different now. Digital art has seeped into the very applications of a day-to-day basis.
Right.
We see digital art on our mobile phones. We don't even know. We see digital art on print media that we don't even know. I'm seeing a lot of books behind you. There is digital art on the front book covers, a lot of them.
Right.
Yeah. So that is the whole application of it. And people in India don't know yet, because somehow I feel when it comes to referring to the term of art, they will always link it to paintings.
Nice. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, they are not able to link it to art. Can also be in sculpture.
Right.
Art can also be architecture.
Yeah.
Art can also be digital. But somehow here the field is like, if it has to be art, it only has to be a painting. But
Yeah.
that is not true. So
Right.
you need to know. And comparatively, as far as I see in my local circle, in the city I live, I guess I am the only one digital artist over here.
Right. Right.
So that is sort of alienating at some point of time. But yeah, you need to educate the people. The people need to know more about the applications of artworks and
Yeah.
application of digital art. Yeah, something like that.
Absolutely. So, how do you differentiate your art form from, let's say the traditional art forms? You mentioned like people's idea is, a painting is an art, a piece of art, but a
Yeah.
digital painting is not. So, how do you, how do you define your art? What does it mean to you?
See, for me, the basic, if you come to the basic concept of art, what is art? Art is something, according to me, that invokes a sense of emotion, all right, in you, or it gives you a certain sense of uh, feeling. A feeling and emotion, if you compare, it is independent of the medium, whether digital or whether real.
Right.
All right. So the kind of what you call calmness, or the kind of feel that I get while I'm creating art on a computer, that is the same kind of art a painter might be getting while creating a physical painting.
Right.
So that is what my medium is all about. That is how my digital art is all about. And plus, you can
Right.
see I don't have a very big studio. I don't need a very big studio.
Correct.
So that's the thing. I can do many digital artworks on the computers and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is what I love about it, because I can be on the move. I can just take my laptop and I can sit around on a mountain
Anywhere.
or
Yeah.
valley and just paint it along on the computer. So the
So,
feasibility is something that matters.
absolutely. And speaking about, your digital arts, your routine of creating digital art, we know, about people who creates one artwork a day, and he's been doing
Yeah,
it for
exactly.
many, many years now. And he's, turned them into NFTs, and, it's very cool
Yeah,
artist. So,
exactly.
how many pieces you create, let's say in a month, or do you also follow that kind of a rigid schedule, or are you more kind of an
I
inspirational?
try to follow, I will be really honest, I try to follow that kind of discipline schedule. He is very disciplined in his approach. He has created many artworks. I try to follow, but sometimes it is not,
Of course.
sometimes the stars are not in your favor, so you are not able to do it. Sometimes something else comes up, because I also practice as a photographer. So if there is a photo shoot happening, then it takes like 2 days, 3 days minimum. So at
Right.
that point of time, I cannot devote my time to digital art. But yeah, whenever time permits, I am sitting on my computer or a PC or whatever, and I'm just
Right.
trying to find out new ideas, how
Right.
we
Right.
can
Right.
like go forward with it. Yeah.
So speaking, more on, artists like people who have converted, who has created NFTs from their art pieces. So,
Mm.
first of all, what do you, see the as the future of, NFTs and digital art, and how many have you created so far? What has been your experience of NFTs?
Well, NFTs for me, I guess they got launched last year in March or something. February, March, it got launched, and in February, March, people created the uh,
Yeah, one of
largest
them. Yeah.
artwork, 5,000 artworks in one NFT, and he sold it at, which made him the, I guess, amongst the top three highest earning artists of all time of the world.
Right.
So that's what he has become. The future of NFT right now, the NFT market is not that much booming, but the future is very promising, because we are trying to get into a world that is totally unknown to us. We are trying, people are coming up with the ideas of metaverse.
Yeah.
And the NFT is going to be the one of the main integral factors of the metaverse, because you are going to trade in terms of NFTs. The kind of clothes you are going to wear, that are going to be NFTs. The
Right.
kind of cars you are going to drive, that are going to be NFTs. And
Yeah.
I ask you, who's going to create those NFTs? Digital
Artists.
artists are the ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the future of digital art. Eventually, people are onto NFTs. Like I guess Saatchi Art Gallery is already has an art gallery in Sandbox or something like that,
Wow.
as far as
Okay.
I am correct. And Adidas is there, Nike is there.
Yeah.
So they are creating NFTs of their shoes, Adidas and Nike, and digital artists are involved in that process.
Right.
So NFTs, according to me, have a very bright future, but it will take their time. It is not going to happen tomorrow. It is not going to happen in another 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
I guess 5, 6, 7 years down the line, it will be on its full bloom.
It's amazing.
And as far as my NFTs are concerned, I have created NFTs. I guess I've created 90, 92 or 100 NFTs so far.
Wow. Okay.
That is what I've done.
It's cool.
And
That's
I'm
cool.
constantly on the go. So like I
Right.
have because to me, this was a boon because I had a lot of digital art on my computer and I had no idea what to do with it.
Right.
When it got launched last winter, I converted all of my digital art into NFTs.
So let's address the concerns of up and coming artists who are, let's say, looking up to artists like you. So you said that you have a lot of digital art in your system, in your computer. So how do you take, let's say, a piece of digital art to a place where it can be appreciated, where you can actually, let's say, very in business terms, make some money out of it? How do you do that? How do what would your advice be to up and coming artists on that?
My advice is like if you are getting into this business solely for the idea of creating money or getting some money out of it, please don't get into it. There are way much more other means that are going to benefit
Right.
you in way much more in a
Yeah.
larger
So
form.
so let's
Rather than-
let's rephrase let me rephrase my question. How do you become a
yeah,
professional in as a digital artist?
yeah. As a professional, if you want to become a professional, you need to like firstly the skills are very important that you need to own.
Right.
Your skills should be on point and it takes a lot of time to like develop those skills.
Right. Be
Like
patient. Huh?
I have been practicing since I guess 2013. I've been trying to practice this thing, and
Yeah.
each and every day is a new challenge.
Right.
Because each and every day when you are trying to create a piece, something else comes up that you don't know, that you don't have any idea about how this has to be created. So yeah, if you will not practice every day, you will not get to face hurdles every day
Right.
and will not improve. And when it comes to making money out of it, then you need to be in constant touch with galleries. You need to like what I am doing every morning is sending out emails on my computer to galleries and trying to get in touch with them, sending them out my pieces. Please see these. How do you like them or not, or something like that.
Right.
Sometimes it clicks and sometimes it not. But you have to
Of
be
course.
in that process. Yes. And obviously, like out of 100 emails that you send, there is going to be like one reply. So please don't get disheartened by the
Yeah.
99 not replies. I get a lot of what do you call it rejection.
Rejection slips. Yeah. Yeah. We call
Yeah,
it in screenwriting rejection slips. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But you should not get disheartened by it. You should continue practicing.
Right. I mean, these rejection slips should be your uh, they are feathers in your crown, because everybody
Yeah,
gets them. You have to go through the
I totally
process.
agree with it. Because see, until and unless you are not going to fail, you will not realize
Yeah.
what it takes to succeed.
Absolutely.
I feel it like that because whenever I used to fail earlier in my times, I still recall I did not used to do it only. I used to just leave it and go outside and
Yeah.
chill with my friends and all
Avoidance.
that. Yeah, I used to start. But see, if you seriously want to do it, then you have to do it.
Yeah. Of
There is
course.
no other escape to it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you
Right.
need to
So
understand this.
yeah. So speaking of your approach to your art, you say that no themes, only responses. It's a very
Yeah,
it's a very hard to decode statement. So can you explain what that means?
no theme, only response is this has a very interesting story. because
Sure.
initially when I used to do my artworks and all that, I used to also take photographs. I used to do my artworks, and then I used to upload them on Instagram. I still upload them on Instagram, share with the people and all that. So yeah, many times when I was used to meet people for meetings and all that, they used to see my profile and all, and they used to see, you have not yet discovered your style yet.
Okay.
You don't have any style yet, and
Mm-hmm.
so it used to happen like this. And after that, I was very much into depression, man. What is this happening? I am not able to do anything. I'm not able to stick to one routine, and why is this, and
Right.
what is this? And I tried endlessly, and whenever, after a certain point of time, I used to follow that style, but eventually I got bored of it, and I changed it again. After that, I was very much into depression, man. What is this happening? I am not able to do anything. I'm not able to stick to one routine. And why is this?
Right.
And what is this? I was not creating to just stick within the boundaries of a particular style.
Right.
I was creating by how I responded to a particular situation, how I responded to a particular feeling, or how I responded to a particular thought.
Right.
So that's why the line came out, no theme, only responses.
Right.
So each artwork or photograph or whatever it is a response towards a thought or a feeling or an emotion. It
Correct.
is not in line or in sequence with a particular style. And I have tried it since past 5, 6, 7 years, and I have not been able to do it. And I still don't figure it out. And I guess that's the best thing,
Right.
because in this journey I get to see a lot of things. Like I can experiment with this kind of digital art, I can
Yeah.
experiment with this kind of work, so that whole thing comes together and makes a one body of work, so it gives you a lot of diversification in your portfolio as
Nice. So,
well. So
should
that
an
is
up
my
and coming artist seek diversification, or should they go
That's
deep in one?
totally upon you how your
Okay.
process goes. So
Okay.
this is unique to me because this is how my process. I cannot stick to one style for a longer period of
Right.
time. However, I can return back to it. I can like work upon it for quite a bit of time. But in order to be good at it, I need to work at other things as well,
Right.
because that gives me the creative, what do you call that? That creative boom, or
Yeah.
that growing up creativity.
Yeah.
So that is how my process works.
Right.
And
You mentioned, your
besides,
initial response towards the composition, and you say that you seek an initial response towards the
yes,
composition. So, please tell us, how do you chalk out your, let's say, initial response in a digital art form? Because a lot of people will say, it's been, ages, painters just go in a valley and just start painting what they see.
yeah.
But you can't just start creating digital art when you come across something, and you get inspired. So how do you keep that thing in your head, and how do you mm, create an output for that?
See, to be very frank, photography has taught me a lot in that process.
Okay.
The thing was photography. I started photography first, and then I came to digital art.
Okay.
So it was when I used to take a picture, I used to freeze it in the camera, and it used to stay with me. So
Correct.
supposedly, if I was traveling, I used to capture sceneries or I used to capture landscape, and I used to come back and I used to have a look at it.
Yeah.
Then something struck me that this is not exactly how I have imagined it to be.
Yeah.
That's my first response towards the composition that I have captured in the camera. That this is not what I have thought about it, like how it should be.
Yeah.
So my response towards the composition, this is not what it. So I will create a digital artwork that will be how I have imagined it to be.
Right.
So this is what I want out of the viewers as well. So they should see it. They should be like very free at the first point of time. When they see
Right.
it, there are like this has happened to me quite a lot of times. Whenever people see the artworks, they are like blown away at first.
Yeah.
They are like, wow, we haven't seen something like this. So they are like, so this is the response that I want. Because then when you will start going deeply into the subject, then you will be like, Oh, so there is no story behind it. So there is nothing. That's why I came up with the no theme, only responses. The artworks are my response, and I seek your response towards the composition.
Right,
So it
right.
is like,
So, Tej, I mean, a lot of, I mean, internet and predominantly social media has opened up a lot of space for a lot of people. So, do you see, I mean, the up and coming young artists creating movements that are, worth exploring in terms of, let's say, Web3 and Meta, if we go into that space again? What kind of things you see coming to in the future of digital art?
see, there are a lot of things that are coming into digital art. The current thing that has been a major boom in the digital art industry has been the introduction of artificial intelligence.
AI. Okay.
So yeah, so from the past, I guess 2 3 months, I've been experimenting with AI a
Wow.
lot on a daily basis. I've been experimenting a lot on AI, and it has really changed the way people are seeing art now. Now it is very different than earlier it used to be. Like, it has eased up the process. It has made it much more easier to navigate through the process of creating art, and each and everybody in the field can create digital art with the work with the help of AI. So this is one of the major discoveries of this year that has happened. Discoveries, or won't say it as a discovery, but the major introduction into the field of digital art, that you can create
Nice.
digital art with the help of artificial intelligence.
Right.
So in it, your imagination is given a push like 1,000 times more.
Right.
So you get to see how the machine thinks, and you get to inculcate those ideas in your work, or you get to work upon them.
Yeah.
This all this process of working gives rise to a new piece of artwork totally. And in the metaverse, it is going to be totally AI dominated.
Right.
AI is going to do a lot of, because these metaverses are going to be self-evolving, they are going to be self-growing, and AI is going to play a huge role in it. So yeah, digital art will also be, like, we can say in a certain manner, that we have to create certain pieces of work that are self-sustaining, and after a certain point of time, they become self-growing as well. They are self-evolving as well. And this is happening right now. There is one of my favorite artists, Rafik Anadol. He is creating artworks with the help of AI. So he practices this kind of art form, and oh my God, you should just look at his portfolio, and you should just look at his works. What kind of amazing works he creates. So that is the next step towards digital artwork, I believe. Rather than that, yeah,
Self-evolving
something.
artworks.
Yeah, you
Wow.
just see they are self-expressing artworks. Like, he combines data from what do you call weather, like all the weather data, tornadoes and all that, and
Right.
feeds into these huge AI generating modules, and then through GPUs, and then processes in the wall. So you will see a beautiful artwork coming out of it.
Wow.
That's the whole process of
That's
things
the
going on.
future. That's the future we are looking at. Huh?
This is, I guess, this is the present. I don't know when it
Oh,
will come out.
present. Yeah, of
This
course.
kind of this is the future for India in the scenario that we are right now living in.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Indian scenario as well, we have to focus a lot on digital mediums, because we
Yeah.
are kind of lacking behind in it, as far as
Yeah, of
I
course.
can see.
India and countries predominantly, I guess, where India stands, they have a lot to catch up in terms of digital art. Uh, so one very standard question: what mistake you'd advise up and coming digital artists to avoid and why? Or if I rephrase it, what mistake did you commit in the initial days, which now look back and see, "Arey yaar, why?"
See, there are a lot of mistakes. See, I will tell the people, if I am on that position of advising, I will just advise them commit a lot of mistakes, because until and unless you do mistakes, you won't be able to realize where you were wrong. But yeah, one advice I can do is like that: just be dedicated and disciplined to your process. Don't be honest to what you are going to do, and if you really want to do it, then just do it. don't try to like sugarcoat or stuff to your own self. Don't try to sell lies to your own self. If you want to practice, then just practice and be disciplined in it, dedicated in it, and then things usually come around. The process is slow and it is very grinding as well at the same point of time,
Right.
but the results do come around if you try to practice.
Wonderful.
And do a lot of mistakes in your work. Don't do a lot of mistakes outside. Do a lot of mistakes in your work so that you realize where you were going wrong.
Nice. We have also come around to the end of our show. So just a last question. Would you like to, nominate anyone for our show?
Yeah, I have a lot of artists in mind. I don't know who to nominate.
Any
but
digital artists you seem would be a
Yeah.
good fit for our show?
Yeah, I really love the work of Nikolina Petolas. She is from Prague, I guess, and she does amazing digital illustrations. I really love. They are very dreamy and they are
Nice.
very beautiful. Yeah. So this is one artist, and one more artist that has been my all-time favorite is Marcel Van Leeuwen.
Okay.
So he has been like an inspiration forever. Like I just try to like see his work, try to learn from it.
Get
There are a lot of
inspired. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. He has been one of the most deepest inspirations that I've ever had.
Right.
So it's like that. Yeah.
That's
So these are
amazing,
the
Tej.
two. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. And we'll certainly link your, artworks and your social media to, the description of this show. And how did you like it?
This was the first point of time when when I'm talking in front of a camera.
In front of the camera, not behind.
No, yeah, not behind it. So I am usually not used to all this kind of discussions and all that. But yeah, it is a nice experience. It is a very like it is
novel experience.
Something you can like say like that novel experience. But yeah, now I feel what it feels like to be in front of the camera. So now I will like treat my subjects with much more like calmness and coolness. I figure it out like that.
Great. Tej, once again, thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the best with all your new projects, and we wish to see more and more coming out
Thank you
from
so
your
much,
art.
Shubham, for inviting me over here. I really liked the whole session that we had over here, and I hope to like see much more beautiful digital artists coming on the platform sooner. Yeah.
Great. And cut. That's it for today's episode, guys. If you really liked it, please check out all the episodes from the Fireside Chats series here. And please subscribe to the 1000 Faces Club and press the bell icon below so that you don't miss any videos from us. Thank you.